driving different.
Hi guys, another Division 2 video. This time it's a loot run video for materials and keys and any loot you can find really. It's all RNG. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I keep missing it every time Chemnitz College is on, and so I've tried to do it as early in Chemnitz College so you can get the benefit of the full week of Chemnitz College, because this loot run does include Chemnitz College. I won't say Chemnitz College again, Chemnitz College. Anyway, so in my opinion, loot is a massive part of this game, especially materials, as we know. To recalibrate, to re-roll, anything to do with this game takes a heck of a lot of materials, whether it's water, food, steel, you name it, you need it. Okay, so I do this loot run every single day because the boxes reset every single day, and the Chemnitz College resets every single day. Chemnitz College. Okay, so the first place you want to go to is the shop safe house. Okay, so what you're looking for is this tunnel, this underground system as it lights up yellow. There's a few all over the place, as you can tell. There's one there which you will get some loot from, and there's one over here you will get some loot from. But in my opinion, these three that I'm going to do, or these, I think it's four actually, these four areas are the most lucrative for the quickest amount of time. I mean, if you've only got a little bit of time to play, you don't want to be just only doing loot and actually not playing the game. So these ones just take a few minutes, you can get them done, and they've got a good mixture of materials, keys, gear, whatever you need. So make your way to that tunnel, and then I'll show you where to go from there. Okay, so once you're here, just quickly run through, checking every box, every key, everything that you can think of, and it just helps to stack up the loot. And like I said, they reset every single day. One of the main things you are looking for is outcast keys. Now I know it's RNG, so don't worry about it too much, but if you can get as many outcast keys as you can, they really do help with when I show you the Chemnitz College in a second. So we'll quickly speed through this tunnel, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Civilians in danger.
Okay, so that was it. That's the first tunnel done. It's pretty smooth, pretty easy. You do run into a few restless natives, but you know, I mean, it's all good. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning was the map difficulty. It's entirely up to you. It makes no difference to the loot that drops in the open world. It's all RNG. So I just keep it on normal so that I can quickly run through. You can put it on a heroic and things like that if you want. So if you do run into any enemies, they could drop pretty good loot. But other than that, it makes zero difference to the drop rate and rarity of the item, should we say, or I mean, how good rolls that you get. It's total RNG. Okay, so the next tunnel is going to be this one here. Okay, so we're going to fast travel to the archive safe house. Okay, so this is the start of the tunnel. Same again, exactly same routine. Materials, items, keys, that's what you're looking for. And we're here on the map. Okay, let's go.
Hostile control point detected.
Okay, so whilst you're doing your loot run, you will run across a few, or you could, sorry, run across a few restless natives. That was those guys that I just killed just now. If you've never done these tunnels before, the heavy that spawns, which is the guy I just killed there, will drop a blueprint for a flashlight for the pistol. Okay, now it was given to us back in the day. We did have I think it's a squirrel. It might be a puppy. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I think it might be a puppy actually, holding a flashlight, and it used to light up on the back of our backpacks. And there was about 4 or 5 different variations of it. Okay, and one of them, it was really bright. I mean, it's so bright, like when you was running in dark areas like this, it used to light up so bright you couldn't even see what you were doing. And then there's one which glowed, which I actually quite like that one, but they took that one away. And another one we've got is a tiny little flashlight. So it's got a little flashlight in its mouth. I'll post a picture of it. It's on my other account. I have actually got it. It was given to us in Lincoln Memorial back in the day, where that backpack charm is now for Lincoln Memorial. It used to be there, but it's not now, obviously. So anyway, so the reason for that, I think, was because people was complaining that the game was so dark. So to combat that, that's why they gave us the flashlight. It's not like in COD or anything like that, where the flashlight actually does blind and does anything to other players. This actually doesn't. It's just for you, so you can point around and look in little dark corners and things like that. So this is where you will get it from if you haven't already got it already. Okay, so outcast boxes that you may come across, they can be pretty good. Okay, they can give like 100 materials of this, 100 materials of that. Sometimes they can drop exotics. But if you look, I've got 50 keys. Now, because I'm going to be doing the Kenner College run all week, I'll do it for you guys for this run just to show you. But normally I don't open them until I've done the Kenner College, because you need outcast keys. All these, the Kenner College run is covered in these boxes. So you need as many of these outcast keys as you can. 10 is best. If you've got more than 10, then it's up to you to make your own personal choice of whether or not you want to open these in the open world. I'll open this one now. So the gear was terrible, but if you look in the bottom corner, it's the materials you want. Now that was pretty bad as well, actually. But again, it's RNG, but you can get 100 of each. That's how good it can be. So yeah, so that's your own personal choice. But I would save Outcast Keys for the Kenner College run.
Incoming backup request. Hostile control point identified.
Okay, so that was it for that tunnel system. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of tunnel systems all over the map that can give out keys if you want to go on a key run. Like I said, there's lots of them. There's one up here, there's one over here. There's two in this area. There's two in this area. There's quite a few, but those two runs are the longest and have got the best looting in my opinion. So that's why I always do those two. So the next place that I go, it's not a tunnel system, but it is a really good area for a good mixture of loot. And it's also, I mean, I already run into the gun runner, but it's also a good place to go if you want to try and find the gun runner. So I do this one as well as those two, just for the loot. I don't do it for the keys, I just do it for the loot and the materials. So we fast travel to the 1040 safe house next.
Agent in need of backup.
Okay, so that was it. That was another little stress-free, easy run to get materials and items and things like that. So it's just around this area. Really easy to do. Okay. Okay, so even though the loot is and may seem really terrible, and for newer players it would really come in handy for a place like this for the calibration station, including purple items, because the purple items can be donated, as you can see. So just for your talents alone. Okay, see? So Thunderstrike, I've managed to get that from a purple item. And there you go. Another one. So even though they might seem terrible, check this station first because they'll come in handy for when you need to re-roll items at a later date. For the newer-ish players, I'll ignore those for a minute so we can do the expertise. So you can donate all your junk to the expertise. As it happens, I don't think any got donated. I know 2 items got donated there. Okay, so it all helps, and then that you've got left, you can choose then. So if you've got plenty of cash, you can trash them for materials. If you're down on cash, then go sell them to the one of the vendors. So yeah, so don't ignore purple gear, especially if you're low level, and don't ignore low rolled items. You know what I mean? It might not be good for your builds, might not be good for any goals that you've got, but they're really good for that station over there. Okay. Okay, so another one that I like to do on a daily loot run, are the hyena boxes. Again, it's key dependent. So if you look for me, I've got 50 keys, so I'm maxed out. And as you saw when I was doing the tunnels, I was dropping hyena keys. That's what tells you you're maxed out on hyena keys. So I don't mind doing these. It's a hit and miss thing with these, but this area where I am now, there's 3 boxes in this area which are close together, and there's 2, maybe 3 down here in this area also. So that's what I'm going to do next. I think it's actually 2. I think there's 1 here and there's 1 there. But they're so close to each other, it takes minimal effort. It's just a good thing. Just have a quick look, and it's the materials that you want. Again, there's a good chance of getting 100 of a material from these boxes. Yeah, so as you saw there, I got 100 electronics. So that was pretty good. Not bad ACS neither. It's about 75% rolled. So yeah, so I do those every day. So I'll show you where the other 2 are now. Okay, so there's 2 boxes in this area. There's 1 down there in that corner, and there's 1 up that rope up there, which is just up from where we last was, which was there. Okay. Same again, really lucky, 100.
Agent requesting backup.
Okay, so this is where the first hyena box is, which is here. And again, another 100. Pretty good, not doing too bad today. Okay, and this is the second hyena box in this area. So it's just to the right of where I last was. Okay, quick costume change. I'd not unlocked Kenton College on that character I just did the key run on, but I have on this one, so I had to switch it just for the purpose of the video. So that's another tip as well. If you've got multiple characters, you can do that. You can switch characters and do this every day 4 times, up to 4 times. It's also really good for the hardcore character. I do it a lot for my hardcore character, for the materials, for the keys, for the donations. Kenton College is really good for hardcore character because it's 0 risk and the sky's the limit as far as loot's concerned. So go to your map and you hover over Kenton College, and it's got to say that mastery is available. That means you've completed it. Okay, and then go back to your map, press right, change the global settings to heroic. Okay, so when you're doing open world, the map difficulty makes 0 difference to the loot. But for some reason, doing Kenley College and setting this map to heroic makes a massive difference to the loot. Whilst you're in the missions, going in between, going from mission to mission, so let's say you're going from the college to the subway, the underground, the loot will be purple and of low level, but inside the loot rooms and inside the boxes, inside the missions, the loot is of heroic quality. So we'll fast travel there now and get that going. Okay, so here we are. So all we need to do is have the doors open. That's all we need to do. You can pick any mission that you want. So interact. Just go to any one of the missions. And we need the door open, or doors open. And then you start your loot run.
Comms network to fully understand what we're dealing with.
We're also looking for these boxes for the main loot room for each mission. So as you can see, I can't interact with this one, so it's not this switch. Okay, so those electric boxes that I was pointing at, and the second one that I opened it is to unlock this room. Okay, so that was the first area done. You can spend your time, spend a little bit more time maybe looking around, going upstairs and places like that, but for me, like, it's all about speed. Let's get in there and get out. Okay, let's move on to the next area. Sadly, the chapel doesn't reset, okay, after you've completed it, or it would be Diamondbacks forever and exotic components forever, so don't even try searching the chapel. There's no point to it. So as you saw there in that box that I just opened, that was purple. So the loot in between missions is significantly lower than what's inside the missions. But again, it's all RNG. I mean, in the first area that I did, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't the greatest, but there were some pieces that definitely could have been used if I was in search for the material. So now we're going to do the Student Union and then move on to the subway.
Did I tell you to stop working?
No! I'm sorry! I won't do it again!
We need you. Investigation selected. Terminals.
We need a hardware key to access the terminals. One of the JTF officers should have it.
Hardware key detected nearby. You have received an invite to another agent's group.
If you don't already have the backpack trophy for this area, it's if you search this sofa, this couch in the corner, that's where you get it from. And again, just like the last area, those main switches on the wall are to open this area for the main loot room. Okay, so that was it for that area. Again, you can take your time if you want and have a really good search around. There's probably a few other little boxes and little bits of loot that you can find. But for me, it's just the quickest, the easiest, get in and get out. So next, the subway. Okay, so this is the subway now. Okay, so just a little warning, if you are doing this with a hardcore character and it's on heroic. So it is on heroic, so the enemies are of heroic standard of damage and strength. Okay, so now the first two missions that we just did, they're you have to physically interact with something for the missions to start. So they're pretty safe areas. You're not going to run into any enemies unless you press a button, open a door, and all that good stuff. This is when you step into an area. Okay, so be aware of that. I will point out when I get there. But this is as soon as you step in the area, it alerts the ads, starts the first mission, and then they come chasing after you. So if you don't want to lose your hardcore character and you're a little bit worried about that, then definitely try and just be on your toes. But like I said, I will point out where it is, so what area to avoid if you're running a hardcore character.
Investigation selected. Deployed IEDs. Triggering frequencies detected.
Isaac is picking up a high volume of encrypted frequencies. If each of these frequencies is an IED, they can decimate DC.
Okay, so that's the area inside that room. You see where the diamond is, and you can see it's lit up on the map as a gold area. That's where, if you step into that area, it starts the missions. So if you're running your hardcore character, just stay away from that area. If you don't care and you want to run in there and see what loot there is, I think there is an outcast box in there as well. You can run in there and just kill the enemies and see what you find, but at your own risk. If you don't have the backpack trophy for this area, this is where it can be obtained in the mushrooms. These two, the two that I've pointed out, can be obtained just by running around. You don't need to unlock any missions. Whereas the one in the first area, you actually do need to go through the steps of a mission for an area to open. Okay, but these two, you don't need to do that. Okay, so just like, again, like the other two areas, those electric switches, those switches that I pulled, were to open this area. Okay, and that was it. That's the loot run that I do every single day. It's always the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, in the Kenny College area, I got one exotic, not a bad CTAR, not a bad MGS, MG5, and the LMG. As far as everything else was concerned, it wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't terrible. You know what I mean? If you're starting out and you want to work on some builds, there's a few pieces that you could have rolled. You know what I mean, and got to of a pretty good standard for minimum effort, no risk, and I think it's good. It allows you to get to know the areas better if you do this as many times as you can. So I do it every single day that Kenny College is on. I do the key run as well if I'm ever short on keys. So even though Kenny College isn't open, outcast keys are going to be needed when it's open again. So you don't have to do it every day, but you know what I mean, just one a day or two when you've just got a spare 20 minutes, do those tunnel runs and try and get your outcast keys stacked up, ready in time for when Kenny College is open. But yeah, that's it. That's my loot run. Enjoy.